from New Hanover County Schools Television, powered by students. This is your school news.
Welcome to your school news for the week of March 7th through the 13th of 2016. I'm Louis Behar.
And I'm Gabrielle Allen de Trois-Maisons. Topping our newscast this week, Board of Education holds its March meeting, Ashley High School hosts first annual CTE talks, and Alderman students get a weather lesson from area meteorologist.
Topping our newscast this week are board notes. The Board of Education held a regularly monthly meeting last week with everything presented and discussed as YSN reporter Bobby Blue.
The Board of Education meeting for March featured presentations of the new schematic designs for Blair Elementary, a host of administrative recommendations, and more. Let's get right to the board notes. The meeting opened with recognition of achievement. The board recognized Turner Kerrigan, a student at Eaton Elementary School, who was selected as the 2014-15 North Carolina State winner of the National Bonnie Plants third grade cabbage program. Coach Michael Bowen, tennis coach at Hoggard High School and the health and PE teacher at Myrtle Grove Middle School, was recognized as the United States Tennis Association's North Carolina Tennis Coach of the Year. Under information, board member Edward B. Higgins gave a report on the Head Start program, and the new policy 4310, use of lap shoulder belts on school buses, was presented for first reading. There were a number of administrative updates. Alan O'Brien was appointed as Director of Secondary Education. Leanne Lampley was appointed as Principal for the new International School at Gregory. Diego Locke was appointed as Principal for Sunset Park Elementary School. And Julie Moore was appointed as the Risk Management Supervisor for the Student Support Services Division. Then new business items were presented to the Board of Education for review and discussion. J.C. Rowe Center was approved as the name of the J.C. Rowe facility. A local phone service contract with AT&T was approved. The Earthwalk sole source resolution for the purchase of laptop carts for multiple schools was approved. A schematic design for Blair Elementary School replacement was presented and approved, and the bids for Noble Middle School Phase 2 abatement were approved. The next regular Board of Education meeting will be Tuesday, April 5th, 2016 at 5:30 p.m. at the Board of Education Center, 1805 South 13th Street. As always, if you cannot attend the meeting in person, you can watch it Tuesday nights at 6 p.m., Friday mornings at 8 a.m., and Sundays at 1 p.m. Board meetings can also be watched online at the school system's website. That's your board notes for March. Back to you.
In just a little more board news, the New Hanover County Board of Education is accepting letters of interest and resumes for a vacancy in one of the 4 positions appointed by the Board of Education to serve on the Cape Fear Community College Board of Trustees. The term of office is 4 years. Regular meetings are held on the 4th Thursday of every other month at 4 p.m. in the board room at Cape Fear Community College. Interested applicants should submit a letter of interest and resume. The deadline to submit the required documentation is Tuesday, April 5th, 2016. Please include in your letter of interest the reasons why you aspire to be appointed and the skills you will bring to the office.
Hoggard High School students had a chance to talk with representatives from Castle Branch and Tech Mountain for a career technical education lecture. The rep with the organization spoke with students about job opportunities, what they do as a company, and the many benefits of their company. Castle Branch, a local company, is separated into 2 main branches, Industries and Core Services. Castle Branch Industries is in charge of employment, health insurance, and education. Castle Branch Core Services is in charge of background checks, vehicle reports, and credit reports. Tech Mountain, which is owned by Castle Branch, is a fire startup company, bringing creative ideas and inventions by smaller companies and the public. Near the end of the lecture, students were allowed to ask questions.
Alderman Elementary School had the wonderful opportunity to learn about the weather and weather instruments from WWAY TV3 Chief Meteorologist Scott Dean. The children learned tons about basic weather instruments like the wind vane and anemometer to more advanced instruments like weather satellites. The children learned that without the instruments, it would be harder to forecast the weather. The students also got a chance to ask questions. Questions included one about how does the thermometer work? 2, is being a meteorologist fun? Scott Dean did a great job teaching the students about his job and the role he plays as part of the TV3 weather team. The children at Alderman Elementary School had a blast learning about weather and weather instruments.
In celebration of CTE Awareness Month, Ashley High School hosted their first annual CTE Talks. The school invited 10 local business professionals to come and speak to students on various professions. We have a complete report with the informative event is YSN reporter Patrick Purple.
Students and faculty at Ashley High School joined others across the nation during the month of February to celebrate National Career and Technical Education Month. This year's theme was Opportunities for Career Success. To showcase the theme, the school brought to the campus a diverse group of speakers from across the business community. Students got to hear from a 3D game designer, occupational therapist, engineer, chef, and an internet marketing specialist.
I was invited to come and share my story, really, of how I got to where I've gotten as far as being a business owner here in town. And I really wanted to let them all know that they already own their own business, whether they know it or not, that they're already the CEOs of their own brand.
All of the speakers during the month connected with CTE classes offered at Ashley and illustrated the rigor and relevance those courses offer at the school. Also, by partnering with the local business community, students got firsthand accounts of what they'll need to prepare themselves to become successful employees and future leaders.
It was really impressive. It was interesting to see somebody from my own community, especially since I plan on getting into the business world here in Wilmington. I learned a lot about networking and the importance of building relationships.
Today was a really great informational. It taught me a lot about networking and like how to get out there in the marketplace and just like what's important when you are trying to start a new business.
Ashley High School's Future Business Leaders of America chapter sponsored the speaker series. Career and technical education in New Hanover County Middle and High School has over 12,500 students. The county offers 64 career technical courses in 13 career clusters. Many courses have industry-recognized credentials. This series was just one example of how CTE programs help make students college and career ready. Reporting for Your School News, this is Patrick Purple.
Finally, to encourage more families to take advantage of the healthy choices available with school breakfast, New Hanover County Schools is recognizing National School Breakfast Week this week. Busy weekday mornings make it a challenge for families to find time for a healthy breakfast. Students are encouraged to wake up their minds and bodies this week with special menus, decorations, cafeteria events, and more.
Now, when Your School News continues, we have an exciting lunch menu forecast.
Plus, coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have reports on Hoggard holds a celebration for Regional Teacher of the Year, Best Foot Forward announces acts for Friday night show, and Pine Valley Wax Museum draws big crowds.
This is Your School News on cable and online. Look for our blue logo for all the latest news online at www.nhcs.net. Please find NHCS TV on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
On race day, both fans and drivers get a lot of seat time. But staying idle too long can hurt your performance. I'm Casey Kane, asking you to make healthy decisions. Take a walk, play with your kids, or take the stairs. Any activity will give you an edge. You've got a choice. Get moving. Eat smart, move more. North Carolina.
Welcome back to Your School News. During the holiday break in December, Katie Snyder of Hoggard High School was named the 2016 Southeast Regional Teacher of the Year. That news was delivered during a surprise press conference attended by a few. Last week, Hoggard held a special celebration for Miss Snyder involving the entire school to congratulate her on her honor. With a full report is Gloria Gold.
The Media Center at Hoggard High School was closed off last week for a special ceremony in honor of Katie Snyder. When Miss Snyder was named the Southeast Regional Teacher of the Year over the December holiday break, such a ceremony wasn't possible. So for this special occasion, parents, students, and co-workers were in full attendance to congratulate Miss Snyder for her honor. The event opened with the presentation of the Regional Award from the Department of Public Instruction's Region 2 Education Facilitator.
So many glowing qualifications that she possesses. First of all, if I ever had a teacher struggling with classroom management, I would send them to her classroom. She has management down to an art. With all of the little techniques that she has her students do, she has a notebook that they keep where she can say just at a moment's notice, oh, that's on your notes on page 8, and they can look and find it. She just has all of the organization down. Her room just works like a well-oiled machine.
On hand to recognize Ms. Snyder's accomplishment was this year's North Carolina Teacher of the Year, Kiana Triplett. She praised Ms. Snyder's classroom style and her role as a teacher mentor. Ms. Snyder was brought to tears when a number of her students shared just what they think makes Ms. Snyder such an awesome teacher.
Her professionalism and her interaction with students, she showed such compassion to each one of her students and respect, which I really, really appreciated and enjoyed, and it made me want to do the same in teaching. So I think she had a big influence on my career goals.
Ms. Snyder has been an awesome teacher. She's like a mentor. She teaches me and makes me want to be better because I had her my freshman year for Honors World History. She was just amazing, and then I wanted her class again, so I took honors psychology with her.
Ms. Snyder's class is fun in general, but the most fun is like when we do interactive activities with things that we learn. So like one day we did on Africa and ancient African kingdoms, and we were talking about Mansa Musa and how he caused inflation in Africa. And so we did like a simulation, and she gave out a whole bunch of candy to the whole class, and she showed inflation, how some people got a lot of candy and some people didn't, like how people in Africa, some were rich and some weren't.
Hoggard Principal Stephen Sullivan shared his own remarks about Ms. Snyder's credentials before introducing everyone to the newest Southeast Regional Teacher of the Year.
And I knew they were doing something. I had no idea that the Voyagers were going to sing. I didn't know that my students would be here, that my former intern, and of course that Miss Rigsby was able to get my former favorite teacher, the reason that I became a teacher. I didn't know that that was going to happen. So very shocked and surprised, and yeah, it's so amazing that the staff came together and did something like this for me.
The 2016 North Carolina Teacher of the Year will be announced April 7th at an awards ceremony in Cary. We wish Ms. Snyder the best of luck. Reporting for your school news, this is Gloria Gold.
It was a ground-shaking, heart-pounding event at Murray Middle Schools, as members of the Civil War Artillery Reenactment Group fired a 12-pounder rifle Napoleon cannon at Veterans Park. Following the demonstration, members of Reenactment Group explained the history behind their customs, artillery, and the military formations they use. Students learned that the South was at a relative disadvantage to the North for deployment of artillery. The North had far greater capacity for manufacturing weapons and blockades of Southern ports preventing many arms from reaching the Southern armies. Therefore, the Confederacy had to rely on captured Union artillery pieces. That, coupled with the Union gunners being better trained, led the Southern forces to dread assaults on positions backed up by the artillery. It was a truly an exciting educational event for the students at Murray Middle.
It is without question New Hanover County's biggest night of entertainment. And for 27 years, it has been wowing audiences with music, drama, dance, and more. This week, we're thrilled to present all the acts for Best Foot Forward 2016. Here is YSN reporter Stephen Thornton.
Each year, New Hanover County Schools puts on the area's premier performing arts event, Best Foot Forward. This magical night of entertainment draws closer, and the list of this year's acts have been announced. We are thrilled to bring you the complete list of acts from Best Foot Forward 2016. Kicking off this year's program will be Laney High School with the high-energy musical number Radioactive. The students of Howe Pre-K will present the classic musical The Cool Itsy Bitsy Spider. Wrightsboro students and the director Shannon Flowers are showing Make a Mark. The Hanover Singers and Drama teams will present Hanover Rising. The Williston Chorus will feature Pop Medley, followed by the Hoggard production of Electric Feel. Sunset Park Elementary hits the stage with their performance of a Pitch Perfect 2 medley. Laney's AP class hosts a smooth performance called MJ16. Susan Gardner gives stage direction for Holly Tree performing Puttin' on the Ritz. Halfway into Best Foot Forward 2016 is Seussical Medley from Roland Grice Middle, followed by Claptrap from Myrtle Grove. Wrightsville Beach Elementary gives us The Sweetest Thing. Williams Elementary throws us to the disco dance floor with Disco Fever. The Holly Shelter Rockestra, under the direction of Lisa Gatsuo, will present Salute to Michael Jackson. Ashley High brings us the showcase, Arts Lift Us Up to Where We Belong. A star-striking performance for Snipes Academy as they show Stars of Wonder. Roland Grice's Trash Can Therapy group starts ringing with Rung Again. Aaron Keller directs with Winter Parks a tribute to three great kings, B.B. King, Ben E. King, and Martin Luther King Jr., and the Laney Adventures Ensemble brings us Save the World, Don't You Worry, Child. Rounding out this year's production will be Eaton Elementary's Queen Will Rock You. So there you have it, the complete list of Best Foot Forward 2016 acts. Don't forget to mark your calendars. The performance will be held on Friday, March 11th in Brogdon Hall, located on the campus of New Hanover High School. Tickets can be purchased at any of the participating schools, at the Public Relations Office at 6410 Carolina Beach Road, and online at the school system's website. Don't let this magnificent night of performing arts pass you by. Reporting for Your School News, this is Stephen Thornton.
The third graders at Pine Valley Elementary have studied Black history the entire month of February. As part of their studies, the students chose an African American that they would like to learn about. They completed research and published biographies on the person they selected. At the end of the month, the students transformed the Pine Valley cafeteria into a wax museum. Each student dressed as their chosen person and became a museum exhibit. They set up a poster board containing bits of their research and stood by it.
Grant Morgan is the person who invented the gas mask, hair cream, and the traffic light. I'm Wilma Rudolph, and I'm an Olympic runner, and I had polio when I was a child, and I overcame it, and when I was 16, I went to the Melbourne Olympics and won a bronze medal, and in 1960, I went to the Rome Olympics and won 3 gold medals.
Some of the other famous people on hand at the Pine Valley Wax Museum were Duke Ellington, Bessie Coleman, Michael Jackson, Oprah Winfrey, and Michelle Obama. Parents and the other students at the school were invited to tour the museum. At each exhibit, they could stop and listen to a short biography about the famous African American. It was a great way for the third graders to share what they have learned, and the project developed their research and presentation skills.
Now don't go away. Coming up is a virtual trip to Alaska's Denali National Park.
Plus, we have a look at education across the nation and Education Index and what's on tap for lunch with the Lunch Bellow Fair.
Your School News will continue after the break.
I have been a teen court volunteer for 4 years. Teen court is an alternative system of justice. Student volunteers assume the roles of attorneys and jurors. This process empowers our generation to take responsibility for problems of crime and violence in our schools and community. If you know someone who may benefit from teen court or would like to become involved, please visit the Community Mediation Center on the web or call 362-8000.
Welcome back to Your School News. It's time for our Education Index, a look around the nation and the world at some of the top stories in education. Topping the index, in 2015, only a little more than half of students who enrolled in college in 2009 made it to graduation, with the largest percentage dropping out after their freshman year, according to the National Student Clearinghouse. That's why 44 state colleges and universities have come together in an attempt to reshape freshman year programs. The 3-year project is called Reimagining the First Year of College, and it's organized by the American Association of State Colleges and Universities. The schools plan to combine student advising with bigger, institution-wide changes to the curriculum, the administration, and the faculty, all in the hopes of keeping students in school through graduation. 13 states and 40 school districts are joining the U.S. Department of Education's Open Education Resource Initiative, #GoOpen. Open education resources are available for free, unlike traditional textbooks and workbooks, and are often released under licenses that allow them to be shared or altered by users. Districts and teachers are still figuring out how to manage, evaluate, and use the materials, but they've been embraced by the Education Department, which recently proposed a set of regulations for open curricula and hired a full-time staff person focused on the resources. ESSA, the new federal education law, also allows states to target federal grant money toward open education resources. Finally, while we debate the dangers of football, overseas they are debating the dangers of rugby. Last week, more than 70 doctors and academics are calling for a ban on tackling in rugby matches played in UK and Irish schools. In an open letter to ministers, they say injuries from this high-impact collision sport can have lifelong consequences for children. They argue 2/3 of injuries in youth rugby and most concussions are down to tackles and urge schools to move to touch and non-contact rugby. The concerns have been raised as a 7-year program headed by the Rugby Football Union is on target to introduce rugby to 1 million children in state schools across England. And that's this week's Education Index, a quick look at some of the interesting education stories from around the nation and the world. Now don't go away, we'll be right back with the Lunch Bill of Fare. This is Your School News on cable and online. Look for our blue logo for all the latest news online at www.nhcs.net. Also, check out NHCS TV on Facebook and Twitter.
Huntington! Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, Billy, I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Oh, hello there. Oh.
Where's that bear?
Welcome back to Your School News. It's time now for this week's Lunch Bill of Fare. Hunter Ledman, our lunch menu specialist, is standing by in the newsroom with this week's school lunch menu, so parents, students, teachers, and everyone working with the New Hanover County school system can play their lunchtime options.
Here in the newsroom, I've had the chance to review this week's lunch menu. We have had a lot of variety this week for lunch. Let's take a look at this week's selections. On Tuesday, March 8th, ready your taste buds for orange chicken with rice and an egg roll, meatball hoagie, or a bacon cheeseburger. On the way to your table, make sure to pick up some glazed carrots, veggie sticks, or fresh fruit. On Wednesday, March 9th, dive into a special hump day meal with chicken pot pie, pork chop sandwich, or cheesy breadsticks. Your sides consist of pasta salad, corn garden salad, and diced pears. On Thursday, March 10th, hurry to the lunch line as the cafeteria will serve 3 great entree choices: stuffed crust pizza, chicken club sandwich, and popcorn chicken. Grab a side of tomato and cucumber salad, broccoli, and fresh fruit. On Friday, March 7th, and end the week off with a hot dog with chili, fish sticks with hush puppies, or chicken nuggets with a roll. After your entree, enjoy a side of macaroni and cheese, baked beans, carrot sticks, garden salad, and spiced apples. For the weekend, I've got my healthy tip for you. After a workout, it's important to rest your muscles for growth and strengthening. This won't apply to sports. However, if you want to be stronger and grow bigger, make sure you rest whatever muscles you worked out for about 2 to 3 days. After the weekend, come back to chicken and cheese pasta with a breadstick, French bread pizza, or a deluxe chicken sandwich. Sides are garden peas, glazed sweet potatoes, garden salad, and mixed fruit. Without question, this week's menu is awesome. Our cafeterias have done a great job offering the foods we love and keeping everything low calorie and low sugar. Now let's take a look back on some of this week's menu choices. On Wednesday, enjoy a pork chop sandwich, and on Friday, one of my favorites, hot dog with chili. This week also features some great sides like veggie sticks, diced pears, and broccoli. Well, that does it for this week's lunch menu, so don't miss out on any of your school's great selections. From the newsroom, this is Hunter Ledman signing off.
Thanks, Hunter. Don't forget you can also catch a Lunch Bill of Fare during the morning show here on the Learning Network and get lots of healthful nutrition information online at www.nhcs.net/nutrition. Now don't go away. Coming up, a virtual trip to Alaska's Denali National Park.
Each year, thousands are senselessly killed by people with no criminal record at all. People like you.
Welcome back to Your School News. Students in Miss Jamie Scordino's 4th grade class at Bradley Creek recently had the opportunity to visit with a ranger and a dog sled team in Denali National Park located in Alaska.
Instead of flying thousands of miles, the class was able to take a virtual field trip.
It was a chance for the class to learn about animal adaptations in a real-world environment, which the students would not be able to experience living here in North Carolina.
Ms. Scordino's class has been working with the National Parks Ranger program this school year, and each virtual trip has been a wonderful experience for her students.
I spent 43 days this summer traveling across the country, and most of what I did was spent at national parks. So when I was looking at it and seeing these wonderful programs like the Junior Ranger programs, I started trying to find a way, how can I bring them into our school system? And on top of that, it's the centennial year for the National Park System, and every 4th grader can get into the national parks for free this year. So it seemed like the perfect opportunity to bring everything in and make it into a more real-life experience for them.
During their interactive virtual trip, Ranger Katie discussed the climate of Alaska and sled dogs.
Students were able to see up-close detail of the sled dog's coat and fur, their paws, and food in their diet. They were also able to ask the ranger questions and learn about the park itself.
A highlight of the trip was seeing the sled dogs team in action. Students watched as a team left for a trek into the wild.
Well, that does it for this edition of Your School News, recapping some of our main stories. Board of Education held its March meeting. Watch it online. Hoggard students learned about careers with Castle Branch, and Alderman students got a weather lesson from TV3 meteorologist Scott Dean.
Remember, Your School News is on cable and online, and don't forget to start your morning with our light and lively morning show weekdays at 6 a.m. I'm Louis Behar.
And I'm Gabrielle Allende Tuamezon. On behalf of the entire YSN crew, thanks for watching New Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network.
Have a great day.